Hello everyone. This is the Q&A session for the Global Perspectives of AI Ethics, panel number 3, hosted by New York University Gov. And this is Ken Ito, a composer conductor from Tokyo and Tokyo University. Stefan had already sent two questions to me. The question one is, can you tell us more about what reality means in the context of AI? And the second question is, in my module, how do you extrapolate lessons from the fields of music and the physics and apply them to the remedies for algorithmic bias? And my short answers are, the answer one, he says so. It means no AI is absolute. All AI is relative. He says, I am relative. And the second answer is the lesson, extrapolate lesson from the fields of music and physics. The lesson is garbage in, garbage out. All AI has intrinsic data bias inherently, and bias-free absolute social big data exists only in Wonderland. Mirror, mirror on the wall, which AI in this land is fairest of all? This kind of question is totally absurd and nonsense. Even if you break the mirror of the superficial side or the conclusions of AI, but the ugly reality of the society will never disappear. This is my point. Now let's go back to the scientific discussion. All contemporary AI and statistics sciences from Carl Friedrich Gauss, as you know. But Dr. Gauss was the director of the Göttingen Observatory during his lifetime, and his statistical models have much to do with rigid body models of the nebula, galaxies, and planetary systems. Before him, for example, astronomy of Johannes Kepler or Isaac Newton has astrological side, and the cosmic structure in the medieval age was regarded as a harmonices mundi, the harmony of the universe. But within it, octave theory in cosmology in those days was mythical and totally different from contemporary objective science. And they were telling fortune. On the contrary, contemporary AI tells expectations, but also through observations. In both cases, precise data taking leads a truth, and data faking, not data taking, only gives post-truth. From biased dataset, biased realities were inevitably revealed. Now, once again, going back to the history of science and music, Descartes' Compendium Musicae, 1618, was one of the first pure mathematical, theoretical contribution to the music theory. Nothing to do with astronomy or astrology or myth or fortune telling. And afterwards, developments in each field and the quantitative studies clearly shows the difference between a planetary system and music. For example, they held Euler's music mathematics was the starting point of his beautiful complex analysis. And then Pierre-Simon Laplace, celestial mathematics, was indeed the true starting point of the 19th century theoretical science in almost every field, not only physics, but mathematics and every other applications. And the situation is totally the same with the 21st century. Contemporary studies, which support music, truly are data-driven sciences based on AI. And also here, precise quantitative data taking is the key. Now this is my own example, Boole's tokens spectral conducting. Precise data taking is important, and no artificial secondary algorithmic change is necessary. It's quite interesting. This kind of analysis reveals the inner sense or inner feeling of the music phrasing, tempo, and anticipation, and every other possible minute but very important something in music, even posthumously. And also, this kind of analysis is applicable for subliminal motion, or subliminal fluctuations of the instrumental players' performances. And if data taking fails, retake it, simply retake it. And no data faking, simply data taking. Now here comes the conclusion. A so-called algorithmic bias is pseudo-problem. Not a remedy, but avoidance is necessary. This is fundamentally data bias problem, not algorithmic bias, but a data bias problem. And the statistic moments of the mother data should be precisely measured, evaluated, and widely announced to the society and overcome socially. As the dynamical mechanics tells, a different inertial momentum gives different motion of nebulas or planetary systems. And also, the statistic momentum gives different motion of the data or expectations. Learned bias of mother data directly reflects, for example, the racial bias or gender bias or even the biases related to the pandemics. Because of that, I have already answered. Pig data is AI out, put down. The lesson is garbage in, garbage out. So-called algorithmic bias is a precisely measured social reality itself. And for the realization of the value-neutral AI calculation, neutral evaluation of the mother dataset by profit-free neutral third party is the most important. Before any AI-based decision making, we shall know this AI's relative polarization. Then make use of it with that pre-assumption. We can and we shall evaluate the deviation, polarization, and even possible biases precisely, both ethically and technically. And for this, I propose, even to the AI gigantic companies, Global AI Ethics Consortium, we should play the role to check the mother data and rate them. Thank you very much for your nice and sharp questions and your kind attention. And any question and comment or any request is welcome to the email address below. Thank you.